There was so much enthusiasm expressed by faculty and staff and everyone that was involved in the interview process, and even beyond that, that it was infectious. And I felt the same way. I felt excited to be part of something that would be brand new, that we would have like a historical position or role in such a new school, and I felt like it was an opportunity.
Shreveport appealed to me, the small class appealed to me. So I chose to come to Shreveport and was fortunate to be admitted to this school. I can honestly say we had fun in medical school. We really did. In New Orleans, most people would come out of there saying what a horror show it was and how difficult the challenges were. But I can honestly say, even though I was working most of the time, I can honestly say we had fun. We had a good time. We got to know each other, and we became like a family, really.
The professors were incredibly interested in making us successful. So we had a little different feel than a lot of medical students had. I mean, you were a number at a lot of medical schools, and they'd say, look to your right and look to your left, and somebody's going to be gone. But we had just an incredible closeness between the professors and the students.
We had some very good professors. I worked in the summers in pathology, and Dr. Warren Grafton was there, and he was a great role model as far as being a physician. So, but there were many others who were influential as well.
So we started the year with Dr. Edgar Hull, our dean, who was a consummate physician. He was the premier internist for the state of Louisiana, and we knew that. So we held him in awe. He was in his 80s when we started.
Dr. Hall, and how he made time for us as the dean of the medical school. That's so unusual. And to meet with him weekly and hear his experiences and get an idea about how we should develop our practice and the relationship that we should attempt to have with our patients. And that was a really fond time, that period he spent with us in those man and medicine classes.
So we started our basic sciences at the VA, and fortunately we started with Dr. Adrian Reed, the head of anatomy. And Dr. Reed was like, I don't know if y'all have seen pictures of him, but basically he was like a shorter, unbearded Santa Claus. And he was such a jolly fellow and a wonderful man. And while we liked a lot of other of our professors, we loved Dr. Reed. I don't think I've ever seen him angry. He never raised his voice. He was always just a wonderful guy.
He was such a wonderful man, extremely knowledgeable and very fair, but also led us to respect the cadavers that we had and to transfer that on to future patients that we would have.
Dr. Reed, just his knowledge was unbelievable. If you're familiar with Gray's Anatomy, the Bible, so to speak, well, Adrian Reed is in there. You don't get into Gray's Anatomy by not knowing something.
I think we had probably the best med school experience any student that's going into medicine could have. I mean, we really had some gung-ho, top-drawer physicians and professors that were all about getting us educated in the way that we needed to be physicians.
Well, I'm very proud. You know, I feel very proud and fortunate to have been in the first class here. I feel like there's a certain status. 32 of us who received our degrees first that day, and then since then thousands have received degrees here, in both as MDs and in allied sciences. So I mean, I feel like that's something to be really proud of. But also, I feel like that we owe it to others to set an example. And I think our class has done that. Our class has done well for the most part, and have been successful. So, you know, we have set an example for others to come.
I'm very proud of it. I think all of us are. And because of that, there's a closeness with our group that no other group has.
I'm grateful for the experience that I had here, the education that I got here. Could never be repaid, and it's just such a it was a wonderful place to get that education, and still is.
So again, we were all very lucky to be here.
The fact that you have graduated is just the beginning of becoming a physician. Yes, you have the degree, but it is a lifelong process of learning.
I think the most important thing for a student is to do what they love. When they go through medical school and see the different options they have, to do something they love. If they find something they love, they'll never feel tired, they'll work hard, they'll learn what they can and never get bored and tired. You know, I feel like I'm the luckiest man in the world. I wouldn't change anything, except if I'd had a little bit more money, that would have been nice. Now, I didn't know all that I know now, you know, but I would not have changed anything.